Welcome back to Nakama, the space where we mix ancient wisdom, modern science, and some real talk to help you grow, heal, and live better. So let's jump right in. You know what's wild? Most people think they live in their own lives, but when you really zoom out, you see how much of what we do is shaped by everyone around us. The clothes we wear, what we post, how we talk, what success even looks like. All of it is influenced by the crowd. And it's not always bad, right? We are social beings. We learn from others. But there's a point where following the crowd quietly turns into losing yourself. When you start questioning what everyone else is doing, that's when life starts getting interesting. You begin to see how much of what's called normal is actually unhealthy. Constant comparison, chasing validation, numbing out when things get tough. It's easy to go along with it because it feels familiar. But if you ever want real peace, you have to stop playing their game and start building your own. I remember a time where I thought success meant being everywhere at once. I wanted to prove myself in the gym, at work, in relationships. I thought if I did more, achieved more, people would respect me more. But the truth is, the more I chased what everyone else was chasing, the more empty I felt. Kind of like drinking salt water. You're trying to quench a thirst that only grows deeper the more you drink. And that's when I learned that going against the crowd doesn't mean you're angry at the world or that you think you're better. It simply means you've started to wake up. You've realized that what works for everyone else might not be what your soul actually needs. When you start healing, you begin to crave quiet. You want slower mornings, honest conversations, deeper connections. You stop caring about looking impressive and start focusing on feeling aligned. And that's when a lot of people start getting uncomfortable. They'll say, you've changed, and you have. That's the point. There's a kind of loneliness that comes with growth. You start to see that not everyone will walk with you where you're going. The crowd prefers comfort over clarity, but you're learning that comfort can keep you stuck. Growth hurts because you're stretching into a version of yourself that your old world may not recognize. It's the same principle as training at the gym. When you're in the gym, there's always that moment when the weight gets heavy, when your body wants to quit. But if you stop there, you'll never see progress in a meaningful way. And that burn is the signal that you're getting stronger. Life works exactly the same. The discomfort of going against the crowd is what builds spiritual and emotional muscle. And the truth is, the crowd isn't bad. It's just loud. It tells you to move faster, to do more, to never stop grinding. But peace whispers, healing whispers, truth whispers. You have to slow down to hear it. That's why quiet time, reflection, even solitude becomes sacred. That's where you start remembering who you are beneath all the noise. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is nothing. To not respond, not chase, not explain. To just breathe and let people understand you, or rather, misunderstand you. Because your healing doesn't need an audience. Your peace doesn't need approval. What happens when you keep choosing that quiet path is powerful. You start building what I like to call an inner core. And I'm not talking about abs, I'm talking about your emotional core. The strength that holds you together when life throws you off balance. Crowd will crumble under chaos. But if you're doing that inner work, you'll stand firm. You'll respond instead of react. And that's when you start to notice something deeper. Your energy changes. You stop seeking validation and start attracting peace. You become the calm one in the storm. Not because life got easier, but because you got grounded. And that's what real power looks like. In South Africa, we have a saying, or rather, we often talk about Ubuntu. I am because we are. I love that idea, but I've also learned that Ubuntu doesn't mean losing yourself to please the community. It means bringing your healed, whole self to the table so you can contribute from strength, not from emptiness. The crowd needs individuals who've done the inner work, who aren't afraid to walk alone when necessary. That's how collective actually grows. So if you're feeling like you're drifting away from the people you used to fit in with, maybe that's a sign you're on the right path. Healing often starts with disconnection. You pull away to see clearly. You rebuild your values, your habits, your rhythm. Then you come back stronger, grounded, intentional, peaceful. Keep choosing that. Keep choosing yourself. It's not selfish. It's sacred. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs someone real. It needs you. So let them talk. Let them misunderstand. Keep walking your path. Keep your head calm and your heart soft. You're not here to impress the crowd. You're here to become who you were meant to be. Thanks for watching. Much love.